This is AI.R. Artists in Residence Broadcasting, coming to you once a week from New York City.
Are you ready?
I am ready.
This is
Air Broadcasting.
And this is
John Cullum.
And I am Emily. And we're doing a post from my blog. And the subject today is marriage.
Oh my God.
And why the subject is marriage is because there's a big hullabaloo about marriage ever since the man who may end up being King of England announced that he was finally, after 8 years of living, they didn't say he was living with her, but I think they did say he was living with her, living with his girlfriend, announced that they are getting married.
Yeah, well, that's good.
And everybody is writing about marriage, and
What's the latest story is that you have I saw a magazine that said something about it's going out of style.
Not only is it going out of style, this is more than a story. There's stories in every single magazine and newspaper that I come across and all over the internet saying that fewer and fewer people are thinking seriously of marriage, and that having a child without being married, living together without being married is becoming more and more common. I don't have the percentage figures on the top of my head.
Well, who needs it? Because I don't believe those.
I don't believe the percentages anyway.
The thing about it is they don't even. For instance, I don't agree with the idea that there are fewer people thinking seriously about marriage. There've been very few people who thought seriously about marriage before they got married.
No, there are polls now that say that a number of people who were married, let's say 30 years ago, compared to the number of people who are married now. And I don't think it has to do with taxes, and I don't think it has to do with practical things. I think it has to do with a change in what's considered sensible, moral behavior.
Well, look, my experience with marriage is not one to be put up as an example to other people, but my observation of what marriage is.
Well, wait a minute. Your experience with marriage has been with me.
I know.
And it's been a very good example.
Yes, but we don't tell people all the problems we have.
But, John.
What?
We are problem-free.
So that's one of the problems with marriage. You see, people think it's going to be perfect, and it isn't perfect. It's never perfect. People think that, we have these ideas about marriage that you're going to find the one person in the world that you're going to be absolutely in love with and forever adore and all that. That doesn't make a marriage. What makes a marriage is you find somebody that you can get along with and that you admire and you enjoy being with because the way they think and they talk and they do. And that's what keeps marriage
But
together.
there's a couple of things involved with that. First, that people have to grow. When you meet and marry somebody when you're quite young, and time passes, and you say one way and she says another way, and there isn't growth, sometimes you grow apart.
Right.
Another thing is infidelity.
Well,
Fidelity and infidelity is a big lower-upper of relationships. I'm not sure it should be, but I'm saying now that's so much in the news, and celebrities one after another that seem like wonderful couples are breaking up because of he did that and she did this.
Right.
So we are now paying much more attention to sexuality, and that's a major factor in why marriages are not working.
Well, you mean because of infidelity?
Yeah.
I'm not going to get into this.
No, I don't want you to get into this.
This story.
So marriage is a big subject.
I think that marriage is much more than sexuality, and in the past, I mean, it's become a big thing, but not really that long ago that people got married for practicality, not for sexuality necessarily. Procreation, yeah, they wanted to make a man married a woman so that he could have a bunch of kids and he could raise them to help him out on the farm and or help him in his business. And that's just one example of why people had to get married and make families and work together. And it was the women did part of the work of a household, and the men did the other part of it. Now that's not confused.
Cullum.
What? Yeah, yes.
I am glad I am married to you.
Well, I've been trying to tell you what a wonderful choice you've made for years, and this is one of our standing arguments.
This is John and Emily for AI.R Broadcasting.
Well, I just have to say one thing, you see. We started with the advantages of that it was much easier to grow together through the years than it was to grow apart.
And we haven't.
No, we haven't gone apart. We've grown together because that was the only direction to go.
See you next week.
All right. So long.
This is AI.R. See you next week.